The concept of a national park came into being in 1916 in the United States, with the formation of the National Park Service. National parks are dedicated spaces that help preserve the zoological and/or botanical life of a specific area, but with the passage of time, national parks have grown to include and preserve monuments, system reserves, seashores, recreational areas, historic parks, sites, highways, scenic trails, and historic battlefields. They are important because they help preserve natural environments and rare species. They help generate revenue on a national level, as evident by the billions of dollars they contribute to the economies of the United States and Australia. They also help people find a healthy recluse from the largely digitized and stressful world that surrounds. What are the top 5 national parks in the world that everyone should definitely visit once in a lifetime? Stick around till the end to find out, and without further ado, let's see the top 5 list for the world's best national parks. Ranthambore National Park, India. The Ranthambore National Park is situated in the Indian state of Rajasthan in the southeastern district of Sawai Madhopur at a distance of 130 kilometers from Jaipur. It was established as a national park in 1980, and after expansions under Project Tiger, it now occupies an area of 515 square miles or 133,384 hectares. The star attraction of this national park in the desert state of India are the majestic Royal Bengal tigers that roam freely in their natural habitats. Apart from the tigers, there is an abundance of flora, fauna, and aviary that can be found in Ranthambore National Park. It has also preserved some ancient architecture that was once a recluse for the Rajasthani nobility. But this depends on which area of the park you are visiting. The top attractions of Ranthambore National Park include Bakula, which is a densely forested region which is frequented by tigresses and their cubs due to a number of watering holes present there. The water in the forest help Bakula retain moisture in the air, and that's why the place is much cooler compared to other regions. Kachida Valley is home to panthers who migrated here to avoid locking horns with the tigers. It also houses sloths due to the beehives and the ant hills. Kachida Valley is also one of the best areas for photography. So, if you're a photography buff, this is the place to be. Lakards in Anandpura is also home to a sizable number of sloths attracted to the site for the same reason. You can also find striped hyenas here. The park is also home to 3 renowned lakes, namely Rajbag Talao, Padam Talao, and Malik Talao. Padam Talao is the largest of the 3 and named after the famed princess Padmavati. The lake is very close to Jogi Mahal, which used to be a type of rest house that the ancient nobles of Rajasthan would frequent while hunting. You can also find the rare Chinkara deer here. Between Pado Talao and Rajbag Talao are the Rajbag ruins, stone structures standing in the form of arches, palace outhouses, domes, and steps. You can also spot sambar deers near Rajbag Talao. Malik Talao is the smallest of the 3, but a good place for bird watchers as kingfishers, storks, egrets, herons, ibis, cranes, and many more birds frequent the water body to cool off. Lastly, standing at 700 feet is the UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Ranthambore Fort, which is renowned for its Rajasthani architecture. Towering gates, domes, stone pathways, thick walls, water tanks, and temples. It was constructed in the 10th century by the Chauhans, who eventually lost it to the Delhi Sultanate in the 13th century. The fort has 7 gates and remains open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and is best enjoyed between April and October. Vatnajökull National Park, Iceland. The Vatnajökull National Park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site which was established in 2008. It covers an area of 1.41 million hectares, which is 14% of Iceland's total land area. This makes it the 2nd largest national park in Europe, only to be topped by Yugoslavia in Russia. The Vatnajökull National Park has also annexed 2 relatively older but smaller national parks, Skaftafell and Jökulsárgljúfur. The park is an impressive combination of ice and fire, considering its landscape that goes from spectacular glaciers to active volcanoes with waterfalls, mountains, and valleys in between. The best and most renowned and scenic places to visit in the park include Skaftafell, Jökulsárlón, Jökulsárgljúfur, Odaudaron, Snæfell, Laki, and Ydalur. Skaftafell used to be a manor farm and an assembly site in the Middle Ages, but it kept changing ownership as time passed. It was acquired by the church, then the Danish monarchy, and finally, prior to its purchase by the Iceland government, it was under the private ownership of 3 families. Ruins of what were once farmhouses can be seen near the Skeiðará River. Located in the region is Iceland's highest mountain, Eyjafjallajökull, that stands at a height of 6,922 feet above sea level. The land at the base itself is about 328 feet. Eyjafjallajökull is basically a stratovolcano with a 2,000-foot caldera at the top. It is also home to black deserts that were formed after the volcanic eruption caused volcanic ash deposits in the area in 1362. Heineberg and Hjaltjanes are the main areas to visit in the Jökulsárlón region because of their proximity to the glaciers, which are frequented by reindeers. Another interesting fact is that Hjaltjanes used to be covered by a glacier in the early 20th century. Another region famous in the area is Hofsjökull, that is solely included in the National Preserve to protect its rare lichens. Jökulsárgljúfur is the northmost part of the park, which is connected to the park by a glacier river, Jökulsárfjallið. It literally translates to Glacier River Canyon in English, and the land is just that. The canyon is 25.5 miles long and 1,600 feet wide and 400 feet at its deepest. Its waterfalls are also a spectacular sight to visit. The series of waterfalls are called Selfoss, Tettifoss, Hafragilsfoss, and Rattarfoss. Jiuzhaigou National Park, China. Established in 1984, stretching over 72,000 hectares of land area and attracting over 1 million visitors annually, the Jiuzhaigou National Park is situated in the north of the Sichuan province in northwest China. It was formerly known as Nanping Country. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992 and a World Biosphere Reserve in 1997, it is a part of the Min mountain range that in turn is part of the Tibetan Plateau. The elevation is just over 10,000 feet on average. The main attractions of the Jiuzhaigou National Park are the multi-level waterfalls, the colorful lakes that exhibit multiple shades of turquoise, and the snowy peaks. The must-visit places of the park include Jiuzhaigou Valley, 286 miles north of Chengdu, famous for its pristine lakes, waterfalls, and forests, which are home to rare animals. There is a famous saying among the Chinese that no mountain is worth visiting after the Yellow Mountain, and some have used the same maxim for the water bodies of Jiuzhaigou. Another important sector of the Jiuzhaigou National Park is the Huanglong National Scenic Reserve. It is located in Songpan Country and another UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is home to everything the Jiuzhaigou Valley has to offer, plus hot springs and valleys. Near the Huanglong National Scenic Reserve is the Zubaoding Mountain, that stands at 80,000 feet above sea level and one of the best sites for hiking and mountain climbing. The third most important amongst a number of scenic sites in the Jiuzhaigou National Park is the Fairy Pool Scenic Area in Dalu Township at a distance of 30 miles from the main park entrance. It is named after the fairy pools, which are 3 colorful pools whose stones resemble precious stones such as agates, corals, and pearls. A picture of paradise on earth. Iguazu National Park, Argentina, Brazil. Another UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1984, it is one of the world's 7 natural wonders and home to 250 waterfalls. It is located on the border of the Argentine-Brazilian border between the Misiones province in Argentina and Parana state in Brazil. The area in Brazil is almost thrice the size of the park in Argentina. Apart from the land animals like jaguars and monkeys and sea creatures like many different fish and turtles, the Iguazu National Park is home to over 418 different species of birds. The main attraction of the Iguazu National Park, however, is the Iguazu Falls, which were formed after volcanic eruptions approximately 200 million years ago. They are almost 2 miles wide and 270 feet tall at its highest point, called Devil's Throat. The waterfall is a powerful 64,000 cubic meters per second, making it one of the most majestic yet daunting water bodies on Earth. Karaman National Park, Turkey. Located in central Turkey, stretching across an area of almost 10,000 hectares, it is one of the most iconic and historic amongst the many places in Turkey. It is part of Turkey's Nevşehir province in the arid Cappadocia region and another UNESCO World Heritage Site. It got the distinction in 1985. The geology of the park comprises mostly rocky areas that were formed after many years of erosion from water and wind. Apart from that, regions also consist of basalt and tuff. The tuff being a result of ash dispersed from volcanic eruptions millions of years ago, which was solidified by lava, with the erosion giving the rocks their shades that vary from pale orange to reddish brown. The main point of interest in the Goremen National Park, however, is the underground dwellings. They were made by the people indigenous to the central Turkish region in the 4th century that also include fully decorated churches. These dwellings are still inhabited but not that far deep anymore as it was in the 4th century. The dwellings have openings for daylight and a must-see for anyone visiting the region. With that, we've reached the end of the video. Before you head off, let us know which of these sites sparked your interest and which one of these sites are you planning to visit in the comments section. Did we leave a great tourist attraction out of our list? Let us know as well, and be sure to leave a thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe to the channel to keep getting a dose of the rare unexplored sites of the world with travel great vacations. Auf Wiedersehen!